What's up guys, you're watching NorCal Daily Driven. My name's Salim and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time hitting that play button, I appreciate it. If you're returning and you're a subscriber, I appreciate it also. This episode is going to be basically about turning up the volume on the ZR1. So I have a 2010 ZR1. Basically, as far as go fast mods, it's completely stock. I just recently installed an MGW short shifter. Other than that, it's a bunch of cosmetic stuff as far as LED light upgrades, tail lights, things of that nature. But so for my first mod, and I don't know if you've watched any of my last videos, but if you have, you saw that I had to send my car to the dealership because one of the catalytic converters decided to explode and it was causing a tin can rattling noise inside the exhaust system. So it was completely shitty sounding. Sent it to the dealership, still covered under warranty, got all brand new parts. But even though we went to that extent and got the brand new parts, obviously we were gonna do modifications anyway. So on that note, I got these 1 7/8 inch Cooks ceramic coated headers and a full stainless steel 3-inch X pipe, which is over there in the corner of my garage. That is the catted version, but the previous owner cut the cats off, gutted them out, and re-welded them back in. So it has the housing of the catalytic converter, but no internal materials of a catalytic converter. And I'm okay with that because from what I've heard, that once you turn up the boost and the heat on a ZR1, the cats don't last too long anyway. So it's just a matter of time for those clogged up, or the factory ones would have clogged up if I would have added any of the engine mods as far as, you know, the pulley and the intake and what have you. So I basically wanted to go ahead and sidestep all those issues down the road, and I wanted to get the headers. The reason I went with the Cooks headers is because if you're a Corvette enthusiast, or you know, any Chevy enthusiast, and I'm sure it's the same thing with other vehicle brands or makes, Cooks and American Racing headers are basically the top two in the business as far as when it comes to headers. Everybody had great things to say about them as far as fitment and quality, so I found a good used set on one of the Corvette Facebook pages out of Texas. Sent the guy a PayPal for money, and he sent over the headers, and they're in pretty good condition. He got them ceramic coated. Some of the flanges have a couple scrapes on them, but nothing, you know, nothing serious. It's all like cosmetic stuff. It's gonna be under the car anyway. We're not doing car shows with mirrors under the car, so it's all good. I'm not going to go into super in-depth length on the install because obviously it's going to take way too long. There's other install videos out there. But I do want to let you guys know that I'm going to tackle this in my garage, which is not too common. Or maybe it is common, I don't know. But they don't recommend it. If they say if you have a lift or you have access to a lift, get on the lift. And obviously, if I had a lift, I'd get it on the lift because you're going to be doing a lot of stuff on your back under the car, and you have to get a lot of clearance using jack stands and a floor jack. But like most of you, I am a garage mechanic. I'm a DIY guy. I do a lot of this stuff in my own garage. I don't like going to shops. A lot of other people that are on YouTube and that are car channels, they go to shops, but that's because, you know, they can afford it. They have the money for it. Maybe they don't have the mechanical know-how, or you know, the skills or whatever for it. But whatever, everybody's got their reasons, right? My reasons is because I want to save the money. I rather do it myself, like I've always done on all my previous cars. So it's a learning experience. Might as well jump in. It's not the daily. I still have the M3, so if I don't get it done tonight, I could complete it another night, and you know, so on and so forth. Anyway guys, so I'm going to go ahead and get the car as high as possible in the air, and then I'll show you guys a shot of how high I get it. I'll actually measure it. They say, I think, minimum of 20 inches. I'm hoping that I get more than that, because obviously the higher I get it, the easier it is. But we'll see before it gets too sketchy. You know, I don't want the car teeter-tottering up in the air 3 feet or something, even if I could get it that high. But anyway guys, I'll check back with you in a second once I get this thing up in the air. Thanks. Alright guys, so the car is lifted up in the air. Got it on 4 jack stands. Got it about 2 feet off the floor. It's just under 24 inches. I think the minimum height was like 20 or 22 inches. One of the Cook's instructions, I think, called out. So hoping this is enough height. Looks kind of sketch, but it's on 4 stands. It's pretty stable. I'll give it the shake test, so not gonna be yanking on anything or jumping up and down on it, so it should be pretty good. Gonna go ahead and dive into it, and then I'll catch up with you guys later. Alright guys, so picking up after where we left off, at the last video, or where I cut off the video because I was working on the car and everything, had the car 2 feet up in the air. Showed you guys that. It was on jack stands or whatever. It took forever to get it that high. It takes about 30 minutes to get that car that high because you're adjusting the jack, putting blocks of wood and everything. Anyway, got it that high. Started wrenching that night. I got the passenger side exhaust manifold and catalytic converter out. It was a pain in the ass. I don't know if anybody else has done Corvette headers before. But just getting to those bolts on that catalytic converter were insane. I mean, 3 of them are pretty easy. The 4th one is in a bad location. So you got to drop the cradle a little bit just so that you could get a wrench in there. It's really bad, guys, really bad. I mean, I've done some pretty tedious work in the past, clutch jobs, transmission jobs on Hondas and BMWs and stuff like that. And I haven't done something like that in a long time. I haven't wrenched on something this thorough as far as modification in a long time. So it was kind of an eye-opener, but I got through it. Had a couple nights or whatever that I worked on it. A couple hours here, a couple hours there. Again, it's my first time working on a Vet, especially as far as doing something so extensive, so it took a while. And in the end, it's all worth it. I got the headers in, so here are all the stock pieces. So that's the stock X-pipe. These are the stock exhaust manifolds here, here, and here. And that's the downpipe, or the cap pipe that you want to call it. That's the primary cap. So I got that all taken out. These were the bolts that I'm talking about. So 3 of them are pretty easy. 1 of them is in like a really bad spot, so it's hard to get a wrench in there. I don't know if you could see in there, but those are the long tubes that are installed. It's kind of dusty in here. I need to wipe down the engine bay. Like I said, it was sitting in the garage with the hood open for a while because, not a while, it was probably like 3 or 4 days, and out of those 3 or 4 days, I worked on the car about 2 days, 2.5 days. One night I was up till 3 a.m. because I was just having such a hard time. There's oil cooler lines that you have to disconnect down there. Actually, it's the oil sump lines because this car has a dry sump. You have to disconnect those on the passenger side, and the driver's side, you got to pull out the oil cooler and move that out of the way. So there's coolant that gets spills on the floor and oil that spills on the floor, even though I had a tub down there, but you know how that goes. Anyway, guys, I got it in. This thing sounds insane, like ridiculous. So I got 1 7/8 inch Cook's long tube headers with the Cook's X-pipe. It's a catted X-pipe, but the previous owner gutted the cats, so you could call it a non-catted X-pipe. And he did that because if you're on the forum or you've been around Corvettes a while and your Corvette, as you get higher up in the horsepower, it creates a lot more heat. Those cats are gonna get melted out anyway. They're gonna go bad. You're gonna get a clogged cat in like maybe 6 months or whatever. So either way, you're gonna have to either gut the cats or just get a non-catted X-pipe. So I'm already a step ahead of the game. They're non-catted, but I still have the factory dual mode exhaust, so I could close it, the flaps in the mufflers, and it'll be quiet, and I could open it, and all hell breaks loose. So enough of me talking. Let's get a cold start. The car's been off for 2 days, so this should be pretty badass. Again, let me warn you, if you have headphones on, this is gonna be loud, so get prepared. So guys, hopefully you can pick it up. It's really loud, I'm having to yell or whatever, but I'm gonna mic up the bumper and hopefully we can get some rolling shots or some rolling clips, because this thing is supposed to shoot flames from what I've seen of other people's, and I want to see if we get some flames on the video. So let me mic it up and see if you guys can get some flames. So guys, I just got back from the drive. I mic'd up the bumper. Hopefully you guys were able to get some really good or a really good idea of how this thing sounds, and we didn't get any bad wind noise. I haven't reviewed the video obviously yet. I just pulled it off. This is real time. I don't know if it shot any flames. I mean, this thing backfires a lot, but I've seen other people who have ZR1s who do the you know, the full headers and keep the stock muffler, and it shoots a couple flames here and there, maybe on a downshift or, you know, in between shifts or something like that. It'd be really cool if it did shoot a flame. I mean, that's not obviously one of the reasons I bought it. It might be one of the reasons, but not the only reason. I obviously love the sound on this thing. It's insane. And the biggest thing I like about it is it's completely Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, or Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, because I could hit the switch, the foot switch that I installed for the bi-mode exhaust, and open up the flaps, and this thing is just a complete animal. I mean, it's like the gates of hell opened up. This thing screams. I'm really hoping that you guys got a good sound clip of the flybys and everything that I just did. But yeah, and then I could just hit the switch and boom, completely tame, super quiet. No one would even know. I could pull it into the driveway, pull it into my neighborhood without pissing off the neighbors, you know, scaring any kids or anything. But you know, I'm out on the highway going through town or whatever, I can open it up and it's completely a different monster. The sound is just insane. I didn't think it would be this loud, but it is incredibly loud. I don't think the camera's gonna do it any justice. Just like any other sound on a GoPro is probably not the greatest. But it's awesome. I'm not sure if it added any power. Maybe it added 5-10 horsepower, who knows. The sound alone will manipulate you to believe that you probably gained 50 horsepower just because it sounds so awesome. I haven't got it tuned yet. I got a couple other things I'm going to do to the engine as far as mods before I do the tune. I know other people who have been running just headers alone, and they haven't had to tune it. They say it's pretty safe. I'm hoping, you know, fingers crossed that it's okay. From a lot of people I've heard that it shouldn't be a problem. It shouldn't affect it that much or at all. If anything, it runs a little bit rich, but a little bit rich is okay, no big deal. So I'm not getting the tune immediately. Got a couple more things coming for the engine. So once all that's in, then I'll get one complete tune, because I don't want to pay, you know, $400 or $500 for a tune just for the headers. And then, you know, 2 months from now I do some engine mods, and then boom, I gotta pay another, you know, $400 or $500 for a tune or whatever it is. So hopefully guys, you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully the sound clips came out awesome and you guys got to experience it the way I experienced it. Maybe not the whole 100%, but you know, I'm hoping for a good 85-90% of the sound came through. I'm gonna have more videos coming soon, guys. You know, I'm gonna do more installs, you know, maybe some other reviews. If you guys have any ideas of some things you guys want me to talk about, or if you guys want to see something about the car, or for me to talk about something on the car, let me know in the comments below. But yeah, I appreciate you guys always hitting that play button. Appreciate you guys subscribing to my channel. And if you haven't already and you like the content, please hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, share it with your friends. That would be awesome. It would really help me out, you know, down the road. It's not a huge YouTube channel, and you know, but everybody wants one. But anyway, I do it just to connect with you guys. I know a lot of you guys have been talking back and forth in the comment section. It's really cool. Hopefully I meet up with a couple of you guys. I know one of the guys down there said that him and his brother have red ZR1s, which is kind of crazy. And they live kind of local to me, so I was hoping to run into them pretty soon here. Anyway guys, till the next video, I really appreciate you guys watching this one. So until the next one, enjoy the ride.